Okay, we're live and broadcasting on the internet, and we're doing this Google Live Hangout with Tessa Guy from In Mind, In Body. Say hello, Tessa.
Hello.
Now, where are you right now? What town are you in? You're in the UK. Whereabouts?
I'm in Marlow, Buckinghamshire.
Marlow, it's a nice part of the world. Very nice part of the world in Bonkers, Buckinghamshire. Excellent. And we're also talking to Dr. Sandy Jost. Now, Sandy, you're in America, aren't you, right now?
I am across the pond from you. I am in the Dallas area.
In the Dallas area. I used to watch that as a child, a lot. With JR. It came back, didn't it, for a short time?
Not everyone lives like they do there. No.
Oh, really? You've just shattered a dream. You've just shattered a dream, Sandy. Now, we're here to talk about In Mind, In Body and guided visualization. And the beauty of this technology is that we can bring different people together on one of these live hangouts. Like we said, Sandy's over in Dallas. I'm in Deepcut, Camberley, which is a part of Surrey, and Tessa's in Buckinghamshire. The reason why we've got Sandy here today is because she is, I would say, an expert in guided visualization, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Now, I just wanted to really introduce your background, Sandy. Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
My background is one of these these fateful adventures that I couldn't have planned if I had tried. So my original degree was more in biology, and I really became very fascinated with nutrition, so I got involved in a degree that...
The reason... Yeah, sorry, go on, carry on.
The nutrition, what I got in depth about was learning how the body assimilates everything you put in your mouth. And although that became an original goal of mine, I eventually got more and more intrigued by the mind. And I then got a doctorate in psychology, really focusing on what is called psychoneuroimmunology. It's basically how the mind takes our everyday life and changes things from one person's perception to another. And so I became more and more involved in teaching this whole world of guided visualization. Some people call it imagery, and it is really the scientific way we view how the mind affects the body.
Okay, that's great. Now, Tessa, how did you guys meet?
Well, extraordinary. I started In Mind, In Body after my experience with cancer and understanding the impact that our thoughts have on our healing. And in doing so, I joined Twitter, a new world for me, and started linking up to people who had breast cancer or connected some way in that form. And I was found a lady called Carol Sneak, who was asking anybody to let her know about new ventures within breast cancer. So I dropped her a line about In Mind, In Body. And she very kindly put me in contact with a lovely lady called Beverly Vogt, who runs breast cancer wellness in the States. And Beverly introduced me to Sandy, who has been absolutely amazing. And I had a look at all her guided imagery certification and just learnt so much, all the questions that I needed answering about the power of the mind and the body working together were on Sandy's guided imagery certification. And she and I have been working together for, what, Sandy, a couple of years?
It seems like forever.
In a good way, of course. In a good way.
In a very good way. I support so much the goals of what Tessa's trying to do. So, you know, here I am trying to help whatever I can.
Okay, now, Sandy, can you talk to us a little bit about the Cancer Involvement Programme and the MP3s that are on the In Mind, In Body website, and how you think that they might help people, particularly with cancer? I know that guided visualization can help many different people in many different walks of life, but particularly in the cancer context, how do you see it working?
Well, when Tess and I first got together, it was pretty early on that we decided that these MP3s that make up the cancer program needed to be accessible to all of her audience. And the birthing of the cancer involvement program was from me working with clients individually. So with each of the individual 9 recordings, it takes a person from diagnosis through surgery, through chemo, through radiation. There's different images that are meant to support a person through each of these stages, because every stage has its own issues. Now, issues meaning stressors. And when I talk about the benefits of guided visualization, there's tons of things, you know, from improving your sleep to just improving your outlook on life. But the main point that I just want to make here briefly is how stressful an event like a diagnosis can be. When you're told the big C word, your mind inevitably starts to worry. And that creates a whole cascade of stress response in your body that isn't supporting you through healing. And so even though people get nervous when they hear that their thoughts are causing an outcome, I think the main point of what Tess and I are trying to do is help people understand that it's not about blame. It's not about looking to fault yourself for having this body-mind connection. It is really about understanding the power in those understandings that we get in science. And so each of these recordings that she has online to help people through cancer, each one is going to have a different set of metaphorical pieces through the words, and that to me is the foundation of guided visualization. That the power of words is huge, and when anyone says any particular word, it's lucky we communicate at all, because I'll say it in one way, especially in the States versus England. It really doesn't matter. But even if you're talking to your own child, you say a word, and they interpret it through their interpreters. And so metaphorical language just means that it's a very deep word that has a lot of meaning. And so let's take candle. If you are working with the image of a candle in your guided visualization, you're closing your eyes, you're going to a very deep state of mind. Well, a candle is usually associated with hope and a little bit of light in the darkness. And so your body knows what to do with that kind of image, and you don't have to explain it in all these words, because the body doesn't know what to do with words, but it knows everything to do with images and feelings, and especially feelings. So have a good imagery and a good visualization that's going to really tap in to your feelings.
Okay, and that's great. Thanks very much, Sandy. Now, Tessa, these activity MP3s, and actually, I just want to explain, because Tessa and I had a conversation on the phone a couple of days ago about what an MP3 is, and that a lot of people out there might not actually know what an MP3 is, and I think it's important that it's easy to baffle people with technology speak, but essentially an MP3 is a digital audio recording that's put on the internet and made available on demand for people to listen to, and that's exactly what you guys do at In Mind in Body with these guided visualization recordings. And I wanted to talk to you, Tessa, about some of those recordings, the uniqueness of the activities. We did a Hangout On Air a couple of days ago, and we were saying about my brother and how much he enjoys golf. That's one of the activities on there. You've got some other ones, so I'd like to talk to you about some of the activities that you have on the site, and then maybe we could go to Sandy, and perhaps she can explain how they might actually help people.
Okay. Paul, on the In Mind in Body site, so that's inmindinbody.com, we actually have we've categorized them into the MP3s into 3 sections. So one is Sandy's cancer involvement program. The next set are the physical activities, which, as far as I'm aware, we are unique in offering. So it takes the listener on a multi-sensory imaginary journey, and we've created a series of different MP3s, so you could be listening to yourself playing golf, going for a walk, yoga, swimming, cycling. The idea is to have a huge library of different MP3s. We're just about to bring out a javelin throw, scuba diving, fly fishing, and they switch on the individual's relaxation response, which helps to boost the immune system. And through the mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and imagined. And going into these activities, you can actually stimulate the immune system, start to build muscle mass, reduce anxiety, reduce depression, and obviously all this helps somebody in their recovery from cancer and puts them in a much more brighter frame of mind in order to get them through their treatment.
Okay. Now, Sandy, Tessa mentioned the relaxation response there. Can you just explain to us how that helps the healing process in your view?
Well, and her approach is so good about using the physical activities. And if it's a new, like suppose you've never played golf and you listen to an image, that's going to offer some relaxation in general. But if it is a beloved activity, your memories of that experience will be urged to the surface. And when Tessa's spot on when she says that the mind cannot tell the difference, or the body can't tell the difference, whether it's just in the mind or if you're actually doing it. So the body cannot be in stress and relaxation at the same time. It has to choose, because although we think we're multitasking out there in the world, we never really are. The mind is switching really fast between lots of activities. And so instead of worry, instead of concern, when you close your eyes and experience, or you don't even have to close your eyes, but you're listening, the goal is you'll go deeper if you close your eyes. But some people are in a concerned state and they want to be alert. But the relaxation response that her MP3s are going to give her is the idea that experiencing it in the mind alone is going to offer the body all of the benefits as if they were actually out in this world doing it. And when you're going through cancer treatment, a lot of times you're physically exhausted and mentally tired. And what I like to hear and express to others is what one of my cancer patients said to me. And it was something like this. She had said that when she was at her most exhausted state through treatment, the imagery and the visualization time of day, and she would do it multiple times, she said it was as if it was putting her back in touch with that part of her that still knew how to be healthy. And we forget, when we're tired, it's the body healing itself, because it takes a lot of energy to do that. So these simple little 20-minute sessions are just a little breather for the body to relax and just breathe deeper than before. And that's all it takes. The body doesn't take a lot of health healing. It knows what to do. All we have to do is give it permission.
I think you've just sparked something in my mind, because you said that the healing takes a lot of energy.
Yes.
So I would imagine that stress also takes a lot of energy. So
Absolutely.
really, we want to be relaxed so that whatever energy is being used on healing.
Yeah. And instead of being upset that your body's so tired, celebrate, because it is a sign that your body's wise. And it is just a symptom that is telling you your body's fighting whatever it needs to heal. And allow that to work. Don't fight it. Go with it. And this is where the visualization tools can really formulate specific goals. And goals are important.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Tessa, we're going to wrap this particular one up now. We're going to do another one later but we're gonna wrap this Hangout on Air up now. How can people get in touch with In Mind in Body, and how do they join your wellness club?
Yeah, Paul, the virtual wellness club is available from inmindinbody.com. We've got a Twitter handle at inmindinbody, and yeah, I'd welcome them to come join us. And what I would like to say at this point before we finish up, the great thing about guided visualization, guided imagery, is that there are no side effects. This is something that everybody can do. It doesn't matter where you are. We all visualize, whether aware of it or not. But what we'd like to make people aware of is how powerful their thoughts are, and how that they can actually help them to heal, as opposed to cause them stress. And once people become aware of where their thoughts are taking them, we're in the now. We're not in the past. We're not in the future. We're in this moment of living today, living in the moment, and this can be incredibly powerful. And it's something that I would love everybody to do and become aware of where their thoughts take them, and hopefully in the right direction.
I mean, your passion for this is definitely obvious. I mean, you and I've been to your house. We've talked about this at length, not just with you, but with Doreen and Sandy. You and I had a very long conversation over the internet a couple of weeks ago, which I enjoyed a lot. Both of you, your passion is incredible, and it's something that I've got to admit. When Tessa, you and I first met in Starbucks in Camberley, and you told me all about it, I've got to be honest, I was a little bit cynical. But I've got to say, the more and more I speak to you guys about this, it's just a no-brainer. It really is. And I would encourage anybody who's suffering from cancer. It affects a lot of people. I think the current figures are about 1 in 3. I think people are affected by cancer in one way or another. We all know somebody who is affected by cancer, at least. I would definitely urge you to get in touch with Tessa. And I know, Sandy, you're very accessible as well. Tessa, what's your Twitter handle, your personal Twitter handle?
At Guy Tessa.
Okay, and Sandy, you're quite accessible as well. You're very active on social media. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, the easiest way is to go to sandyjost.com, and that's just the old-fashioned way to spell S-A-N-D-Y, and Jost is like most. So, but it's the world is so. Thankfully, being a teacher, I really have a flexibility that a lot of people don't. So, I encourage everybody to reach out. Make it a smaller world than it feels.
And again, someone who is into technology, I'll say it all the time. The world is a smaller place. Now we have social media. It means we can connect with virtually anybody about anything, really, and that's the beauty of it, and that's why I love technology so much.
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you very much for taking part in this Google Live Hangout. We're talking to Tessa Guy from In Mind in Body and Dr. Sandy Jost, who is an expert in guided visualization. Ladies, thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Sandy.
Bye-bye.